Good day, everyone. By the way, my name is Jasabi Sabanal, a fourth-year social studies student at Negros Oriental State University, Shatan campus. So today, I'll be sharing with you an important topic under Unit 2, which is assessment in the classroom. But before that, here's the learning objectives. Before we begin, let me ask you first, how do teachers really know if students are learning? Is it enough to simply finish a lesson and move to the next topic? Or should teachers find ways to measure and support learning as it happens? These questions lead us to the role of classroom assessment. Now, what is classroom assessment? So, classroom assessment is an integral part of curriculum implementation. It allows teachers to track and measure learners' progress and to adjust instruction accordingly. It also informs learners as well as their parents or guardians of their progress. So this statement means that classroom assessment is not separate from teaching. It is part of the learning process itself. It helps teachers know if students are truly understood the lessons and whether adjustments are needed. At the same time, it keeps students and parents informed about academic growth. So, in short, classroom assessment serves as a bridge between teaching and learning. Now, let's proceed to the goals of formative and summative assessment. So, for formative, it is to monitor student learning and provide ongoing feedback that can be used by teachers to improve their teaching and by the students to improve their learning. So, formative assessment focuses on the process, not just the outcome. It's like a check-up during the learning journey. It gives both teachers and students the chance to improve before reaching the final stage. And then, summative assessment is to evaluate student learning at the end of the instructional unit by comparing it against the standard or benchmark. So, summative assessment, on the other hand, looks at the final result. It usually happens after the unit or course to check if learning objectives have been met. For example, a final exam or a standardized test shows how much a student has achieved compared to the set standards. So the key difference is this. Formative assessment support learning while it is happening, while summative assessment measures learning after it has happened. So now let's expound what is formative assessment by its definition. So formative assessment is defined as the frequent, interactive assessment of students' progress and understanding to identify learning needs and to adjust teaching appropriately. That's according to William 2011. So this highlights that formative assessment is continuous and interactive. It's not a one-time test. It helps teachers know students' needs and guides them in changing teaching methods if necessary. And next, according to UNESCO TLSF, formative assessment refers to the ongoing forms of assessment that are closely linked to the learning process. So this means formative assessment is part of the teaching itself. It doesn't wait for the end but work alongside the lesson. And now, let's proceed to the purpose of formative assessment. So these are first, meeting learning needs, guiding instructional decisions, enhancing self-regulation, and providing feedback. So the purpose of formative assessment is to help students and teachers in several ways. So first, it makes sure learning needs are met by identifying gaps. Next, it guides the teacher in making decisions about the next steps in teaching. And it also helps students reflect on their progress and set learning goals. And lastly, it provides immediate feedback so students can improve quickly. So next is the examples of formative assessment. Quizzes, discussions, individual reflections, feedback, team or peer assessments. So these examples show how formative assessment can be simple and practical. Like short quizzes or class discussion help teachers check understanding. Then reflection allows students to think critically about their learning. And then feedback, whether from the teacher or peers, provides direction for improvement. Next is the benefits of formative assessment. So these are enhanced learning and understanding, personalized instruction, immediate feedback, targeted interventions, and improved engagement and motivation. So formative assessment is that it improves learning while it is still in progress. It provides immediate support, helps teachers adjust strategies, and gives students confidence to participate actively. And finally, we are done with the formative assessment. Now let's proceed to the summative assessment by its definition. So summative assessment measures what students have learned and mostly is conducted at the end of the course or instruction. That's according to Abiwek Rama and others. So this shows that summative assessment is outcome based. It answers the question, what has the student learned at the end of the lesson or course? So, yes, next is according to Black and William 2006, summative assessment is given occasionally to assess what pupils know and do not know. So, this statement means summative assessment provides a snapshot of learning at a certain point, often for grading or reporting purposes. And next, let's proceed to the examples of summative assessment. Yes, final exams, end of unit test, authentic projects, standardized test, summative portfolio. So these are, yes, I know that these are familiar to all students. They usually carry high point value and are considered high stakes. Their purpose is to measure achievement after instruction has been completed. Finally, the benefits of summative assessment. There are tracking student progress, accountability, motivation, preparation for external exams, and standardization. So this provides data that can be used to track student growth over time. It ensures accountability for both students and teachers. Learners to It also motivates learners to prepare seriously and help them practice for larger external exams. And then finally, it allows fair comparison across groups since the results are standardized. And for you to better understand, here's the comparison between the two. In summary, formative assessment is about supporting learning during the process, while summative assessment evaluates learning at the end. Both are important for effective teaching and learning. So let me leave you with the final question. If you were a teacher, which assessment would you prioritize more? Formative or summative, and why? Thank you very much for listening. Once again, this is Jessa B. Sabanel from Negros Oriental State University, Shatin Campus. Good day and thank you.